Thank you for joining us back. We'll move straight ahead to reviewing our national dailies, and we'll start off with Daily Trust. And the leading headline: Amidst peace deal in Katsina, bandits abduct 55 in Zamfara. That's on pages 3 and 4. We have mafias out to kill my refinery, says Dangote. That's on page 23. Three patients die at Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital as Ketco courts power over deaths. That's on page 33 of the Daily Trust. Presidency, Atiku trade words over hunger and poverty. That's on page 29 of the Daily Trust. And below the border headlines: FCT doctor strike, services grounded in hospitals. That's on page 6 of the Daily Trust. And we have Tinubu cuts short vacation, returns to Nigeria today, and that's on page 10 of the Daily Trust. 2027, UN warns parties against hate speech. That's on page 13 of the Daily Trust. And Kano Maridi Rail project at 60% completion, says President. That's on page 25 of the Daily Trust. Do well to get yourself a copy to stay informed.
All right, next up we have the Guardian newspaper. Right in front, we have money illusion fuels fiscal crisis as state's debt deficit soar. That's on page 6 of the Guardian. At the top left, we have 2027, Nigerians won't accept technical glitch. Excuses, PDP warns INEC. That's on page 3 of the Guardian. Federal government suspends customs FOB levy on imports. That's on page 4. How our refinery saved Nigeria's oil sector by Dangote. That's on page 3 of the Guardian. At the bottom, we have International Day. Nigeria's democracy faces grave threats from hunger, corruption. Atiku CSOs warn. NMA rejects salary cut for Lagos doctors, faults federal government on funding. Federal government orders relocation of Roman cattle to grazing reserves. That's on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. $4.5 billion fraud trial. Court grants Emefiele request for forensic examination. That's on page 4 as well of the Guardian. Stable exchange rate, food prices drive down inflation to 20.12%. That's on business page on page 15. Peace deal collapses as the bandits abduct 40 in Zamfara. That is on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. Make sure you grab yourself a copy and stay informed.
All right, we move straight ahead to Punch on the border headlines. Food price crash. Farmers fault federal government order as agro imports hits 2.2 trillion naira. Order won't work. Federal government must subsidize transport, agri sectors. Afan millers, federal government to distribute 2,000 tractors to farmers. That's on page 24 of the Punch newspaper. And just above the leading headline, SSANU NASU issues strike notice over unpaid allowances. That's on page 21 of the Punch. FX inflows reserves boost Naira to 1,497 per dollar. That's on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. And then Tinubu, Fubara end foreign trips. IBAS set for handover. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Just below the leading story, Dangote vows refinery won't fall to oil mafia. That's on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. And Southeast behind as Southwest maintains voter pre-registration lead. That's on page 7 of the Punch. Nepal protests, 2 Nigerian inmates arrested after jailbreak. That's on pages 4 and 5. Federal government suspends controversial 4% import duty levy. That's on page 23 of the Punch. Do well to grab yourself a copy to stay informed.
All right, next up we have the Nigerian Tribune. At the front we have 2027. PDP demands legal backing for electronic transmission of results. That is on page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune. An extra at the bottom says, party not dead declares confidence in Fubara as emergency rule winds down in Rivers. Dismisses relevance of Atiku. Others says reconciliation, disciplinary measures in progress. At the top left, we have Guinness Book of World Records confirms Hilda Basti's largest serving of Nigerian jollof rice. That's on page 21 of the Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria's inflation rate dropped to 20.12% in August, that says NBS. That's on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Move to reduce federal government's stake in joint oil ventures capable of undermining Nigeria's sovereignty, Atiku warns. That's on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. Oyo launches Sustainable Social Protection Initiative. That's on page 17 of the Nigerian Tribune. I can't facilitate Natasha's resumption. CNA says Senate court must authorize her return. That's on page 3. Our refinery ended Nigeria's 50-year fuel queue crisis, says Dangote. We are creating jobs, not displacing anyone. Industrialization, not importation, will grow Africa's economy. Now on health, daily walking can prevent a back pain risk by 23%, says our study. All right, next up. All right, let us look at the front page of a Daily Trust this morning. All right, we have right in front, amid peace deal in Katsina, bandits abduct 55 in Zamfara. And this happened yesterday as worshippers from a mosque in Tinubu village, Zafi local government area of Zamfara state. And, you know, this is not the first time that this happened, that people were, praying in a mosque and they got invaded, shot at and kidnapped as well.
Terrorists, yeah.
Which is quite sad that this is still going on. And a peace deal in Katsina. I don't understand how that is going to happen. Well, I believe that most people would say that you should not negotiate with terrorists. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But we shall see what happens, and I hope and pray that those people that have been abducted get recovered and come back to their families safely, and those that have been lost, our heart goes out to their relations and relatives.
I really hope so. And then the FCT doctors strike, services grounded in hospitals. I mean, you know, hospitals are not functional at the moment due to, you know, all of the issues that the doctors and the federal government have not been able to come to a conclusion up till now, and this is really affecting patients.
Their deadline.
Absolutely.
And extending it.
Absolutely.
I believe it's time they sit and, you know, have a conversation and come to terms so that every party can understand what needs to be done and, you know, go back to business as usual. All right, with that, we've come to the end of a Daybreak on Trust TV. Thank you to all that called in, and make sure you continue to watch us. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. so you don't miss out on interesting and engaging conversations. I am Hawa Ademikiawa. Thank you for watching.
And I am Mimuna Bagudu. Do well to follow us on all of our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream to stay informed. In everything you do today, stay safe. Have a great day.